last video, we saw this 2008 C6 Z06 come back to life for the first time in well over a year, first time under my ownership. A heads cam, LS7 with 1 7/8 inch long tubes, 3-inch exhaust straight out the back to muffler modded stock mufflers. Sounds insane. Good oil pressure, 0 leaks. Everything went just about as good as I could have asked for. But as usual, there's still a lot of work to do, including after when I shut the car off, I realized something. This is my parts pile over here, and it's pretty much empty except for this little shroud we got to put on and this thing, which is our catch can. And when I saw this, I realized there is an open vacuum port down in there. If you guys can see that. So basically the catch can is going to route from the intake manifold down there to the valley port down here. And one of them's capped off, so that's fine. But basically we had a massive vacuum leak last time this thing was running, which is surprising because it was running extremely well. But we're going to want to get that catch can on there, get that shroud on there so we can call the parts pile completely done. We got to get the hood on, got to get the front bumper back on, wheel well liner on. And then there is plenty of other stuff to do to this car. We got some cosmetic stuff. We got some work on the interior. Just lots of stuff still to do. We still got to drive it, you know? I briefly tested to see if the clutch worked when it was on the lift. It seems like it does, but we haven't even really moved this thing other than me pushing it so far. So we got plenty to do. But for now, let's focus on, let's get that catch can on there, get that shroud for the intake on there, and get this thing off the lift. Because I have another car that I want to put on there for something else that you guys will see shortly, or may have already seen, I don't know. And B, if we're going to be working around the body and in the interior, the doors need to be able to open fully, which right now on the lift they cannot do. So let's get this thing put back together enough, see if it moves under its own power, drive it out, and we'll go from there. Well, there she is. Fully assembled C6 Z06 engine bay. LS7 stuffed right in the middle. Got our Elite Engineering catch can all installed. Our Haltech shroud here, and even tossed on the signature red Corvette Z06 LS7 coil covers. Kind of hides the coil packs and makes the engine bay look a little cleaner. Also, hood's back on, adjusted, body gaps are perfect. Front bumper's back on, front end is completely back together. The car is complete again. Parts pile is no more, except for a few extra bolts we had from the extra intake manifold, old flywheel bolts, stuff like that that doesn't get reused. And we've got ourselves a complete car. So with that, like I said, I gotta get this thing out of the lift bay. Let's see if it moves under its own power and moves over here. I'd drive it right now with you guys, but it's completely pitch black outside, so you wouldn't be able to see anything. So I think I'm just gonna move it for now, and we'll take a drive tomorrow. She moves! Alright guys, well the red Z06 has joined the other vehicles on the other side of the garage, I suppose, aka the non-lift bay. And it moves under its own power, still running just as good as it was last night when I fired it up. I seem to have developed a small squeak from the AC pulley. You guys might have heard that when I was pulling in. I'm thinking maybe I didn't clean the pulley well enough, because obviously the previous engine exploded basically right behind the AC compressor. And I know it's not the main pulley and the main belt because that's brand new, but the AC pulley, I just sprayed some carb clean down there while it was running and the squeak went away for a second and then came back. So I'm thinking there might be some oil down there. Easy fix, would have been a lot easier when the motor was out, but you know, not the end of the world. But yeah, it's dark out right now, so let's put this thing away for the night and I'll catch you guys tomorrow, or maybe in a few days depending on my schedule. And we'll take this thing for a drive and see what else we got going on next.
One eternity later.
Well, it's been a few days. I've been waiting on the weather and finally some daylight, and now we got both. It is like 55 degrees, almost January here. Tomorrow's New Year's Eve. And what better of a day to take our recently moving, running, driving Z06 for its really first drive, other than backing it out of the garage and into this bay. Mercedes is on the lift. That's coming up in a video that you guys will actually probably see before this one. But anyways, this thing has been sitting here untouched since you guys last saw it, with the exception of I cleaned the belt and the AC pulley, and I believe that squeak is completely gone. So other than that, exactly how I left you guys, except we got better weather now. So let's cold start this thing, back it out, let it warm up a little bit, and then we'll see if it drives and how well it drives. outside and running good. Nice and quiet up here. Let's do a garage floor leak check. That's just water, condensation from the exhaust. Bone dry. That's what we like to see. Whew. Sounds good, real good. All right, horsepower tuners is up and logging. Coolant temp's about 140. Let's go. A little bit of cam surge. It's to be expected. It's not tuned for it. Oh yeah. Clutch feels good so far. Second gear. Third. Sounds really good. Woo! Our blowed up Z06 is back in action, baby. Good oil pressure, coolant temp still coming up, battery's charging. All vitals look good. Bolt this seat in a little better. I think it's a tad loose. See, this is kind of what I'm talking about, or what I was talking about in a previous video with the oil temperature. Car's been running for 10 minutes now, driving for 3 or 4 of that. Oil temperature is still 77 degrees with no oil cooler. So you can see how long it takes 8 quarts of oil to heat up. And then you add into that an oil cooler right at the front of the car. This time of year, it never gets warm. So at least where I live, and the kind of driving, you know, most street cars will see, that oil cooler doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It is warming up now though a little bit, 82 degrees. Woo! Pops and burbles on D-cell. Now we can't go too crazy. The car's not tuned, so I'm not going to beat on it at all. I just want to run through the gears. Make sure everything feels smooth, which it does so far. Make sure that coolant is, you know, completely bled. We got the heat on right now. Just make sure the car runs and drives like it should. Not, you know, knock the dust off the, or knock the rust off the rotors. Just take it for a good drive. We are going to get this thing dyno tuned here shortly, but obviously you want to do everything you can to make sure that you're ready for your dyno appointment. That's just telling me to buckle my seatbelt, which I should have on, but I don't have one right now, which we'll get into in a minute. But yeah, anyways, just want to make sure you're ready for your dyno appointment. We're going to get a few miles in the clutch, a few heat cycles on the motor, and that's what we're doing right now. Woo! This light throttle pulls very strong. And check out this downshift. Woo! Man, you cannot beat an LS7, man. They sound so good. Cannot wait until this is tuned and we can just give her the beans. Love it. One more downshift. 7 liters, baby. Ooh, almost stalled it. No problem, smooth. Let's see, coolant temp 198. It's been sticking there. That's right where it should be for this car. Not Not even a check engine light, nothing. Drives real smooth. Let go of the wheel, no problem. So far, so good, boys. I'm gonna get this thing home now. I'm very happy with this test drive. We'll make sure it's not on fire, make sure we definitely don't have any leaks, double check everything, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, back at the house. Car's still running great. Sounds perfect. Nice steady hot idle. So yeah, I'm calling that a first drive win right there. Couldn't have gone better actually. For being completely untuned for as big of a cam as it has, it drives pretty good. It's got some surging at low RPM, but that is definitely to be expected. So let's get this thing inside and we'll talk about what we're gonna do next. Never gets old. All right, let's put this thing away. All right, well, you guys know the deal. It's been a couple days, but we're back on the Z06. Once again, the good news is you guys haven't missed anything other than opening the hatch there and putting my under hood light, which I think is gonna work here in there. I haven't touched it. So the test drive went really well. It's dark and snowing out right now, so I think it's a good night to get to work on something in the interior. You guys might remember way back in the first video, this car had a harness bar in it. And as such, it had holes drilled in the pillar panels there. So I took those out and was able to sell those with the harness bar as a nice package to a fellow C6 owner. But that leaves the problem, now I don't have any sail panels. But obviously I wanted to do that because if I don't have the harness bar in there, we don't want our sail panels, trim panels to have just holes in them. So ironically, the same guy that I sold the harness bar and sail panels to, a week later reached out and was like, hey, do you want my other ones? And we worked out a deal and got these mint C6 sail panels. I think these are the same for every single C6, same color and everything. So they should basically snap right in. These things are in good shape. They're a little dirty. They got like some greasy stuff or water or something on them. But other than that, no cracks or anything like that. So that's exactly what I'm looking for to complete the interior in this thing. So I've got some reassembly to do as far as the seat belts and stuff. Let's get these cleaned up, get the interior 100% back together, maybe even give it a quick wipe down, and we can check the interior basically completely off this list. I don't really have any other plans for that in this car. Super nice 2LZ, great condition. Doesn't really need anything else, but let's get to work. Let's get it back together.
Man, that sound just never gets old. Been out driving this thing around this morning, getting some fuel, running absolutely perfect. The old LS7 is running like a Swiss watch. Smooth as butter. Let me turn this thing off so I can talk to you guys and show you what we got done. Well, you guys will have to excuse my voice. I woke up this morning with a bit of a man cold. So, sorry I sound, you know, like a dweeb right now. Anyways, we have got the interior completely banged out on this Z06. So if I pop the trunk, we'll start back there. The hatch, rather. 100% complete factory interior back here. No more holes in the trim panels. Got those new ones cleaned up, put on there. Everything vacuumed out. Sail panel trim all put back on there. Perfect. Also gave the interior a complete detail while I was at it. Door panels completely conditioned and cleaned. The factory OEM Z06 leather seats. 36,000 miles on this car, and anyone who's owned a sports car knows that this is the first spot that they wear. And look at this. Practically brand new. Awesome to see. Both seats, perfect condition. Grabbed some factory OEM C6 mats out of the basement, out of my black Z06 that have been down there since I bought that car 6 years ago. So, you know, vacuumed the cobwebs up out of those. A little bit dirty because I've been driving this thing all morning, but much better fit than the WeatherTech mats that were in there. Same thing over here. Just super, super clean. I really like the torch red with the, or victory red with the titanium inserts on the C6 Z06 seats there. Even though it's only a small victory, it's always nice to cross off a complete portion of a car. Complete interior, done. So when we finish the exterior of this car, we know that we don't have to jump in the interior and, you know, bang that out as at a last minute or as a last minute step. It's done now. It looks absolutely perfect in there. Looking showroom fresh. Yeah, as I mentioned, I've been driving this thing all morning, trying to get as many miles on it as I possibly can, just to see if there's going to be any issues. We want to know about them now, but I can't find any of them. I've been listening to the radio, got my heated seat on. I can't find anything wrong. There's no lights in the dash. Oil pressure's good. The alternator's charging at 14.5 volts. Coolant temps are staying where they should. Oil temps are staying where they should. Everything is perfect on this thing so far, which is good because in the next video, we're going to be putting this new LS7 and the entire drivetrain in this car through its paces. So if there's going to be any issues, it's going to be in the next video. So you guys are not going to want to miss that one. I'm going to wrap this one up here, start filming for the next one right away, and another update will be up before you guys know it. Thank you as always for watching. Appreciate your comments, likes. Be sure to catch you in the next one.